Hey everybody, OldBayCraps here. We're about to roll out, but I noticed that at the end of this video is when I told everybody that you could use these rolls to play out on your own tables. I actually meant to say that up front, so I'm putting this little snippet of video right in the beginning. Let's roll it! Hey everybody, Craig here, OldBayCraps. We're back at the table for session number 2 of practicing DI. I did a little bit of practice earlier this morning and doing it the same way I was doing it yesterday with putting the dice on a 45-degree angle on the cut edge when I throw it. And then I started doing this morning a couple of times going back to what both Gargoyle and I believe it was El Toro said about keeping the dice parallel to the table like this. So it's up on my knuckles. You can see it in the new hand camera angle I have this way. And I'm finding that I'm able to go down the lane that I need to slightly better, better landing, going down to the landing zone has been a little bit sharper. Changing it from this to parallel to the table. It also elevating the dice like that also helps me. Gargoyle and Ed had agreed that it should be about 2 inches off the table. Because it's a bouncy table, so I wanted to make sure I could get it down there. And the trouble I was noticing yesterday, and even the other night, was when I had it on the angle and I was doing this, a couple of times I felt the dice skip on the table before I released them, and then also they were splitting a lot. You know, if I did it in slow motion, right here, if I, they kind of went like this, before I even released them, they were, so doing this, I just wanted to change it up to keeping it parallel, and I noticed that they were staying closer to the wall and also staying closer together. I'm talking right now, so obviously they split right there, but we're going to try it out with the different starting position. So I've moved some things up to the top of the screen. Hopefully the mic still works. But I changed the hand camera to show my hand from the other side, because basically the other camera was showing you the back of my hand, even though I know it was showing down the lane. But you'll see the same result when it comes down this way. I've also marked the and don't worry for those people that think this is marker, this is just electrical tape. So I put it about 4.5 inches wide, right along the lane that I'm going on, and this is right around the 8-inch mark, the 8 to 10-inch mark of where both Ed and Gargoyle wanted me to land it. So I am still finding that I'm landing it here sometimes and sometimes here, but I want to really land it there so that the dice land closer to the wall. So without further ado, let's get this started. I'm going to track the rolls too. We're going to go for 100 rolls. And mic looks good. So let's get started. Throughout this whole process, until we have another show with Gargoyle, Ed, and Jeff, I'm going to be sticking with the 5-4 set until told otherwise. So here we go. Roll number 1. Why not? 4, 3, 7, right? Again, we're not worried about the results of the dice. We're just worried about mechanics right now. So that's a come out 7. So we're okay with that. All right, and I'm only going to use the stick if I need to reach across the table. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick them up with my hand. Here we go. As a 5, 4, 9, wasn't anywhere near the landing zone or the area where I wanted them to be, but that's going to happen. Got the J-Mac hard 9 going. You know, and both Gargoyle and Ed had also told me about stance. You know, I'm standing sideways. I'm also holding onto the rail sometimes, so I'm trying to figure out what's comfortable and what's going to work best for me. I got a little groove right here in the rail here, so the stick kind of fits right in there. I like that. But so I'm doing my best. You're seeing it from the other angle where I'm putting my fingers. And this time I'm going to hold onto the rail. Now the left die didn't really go very far. The right die, the red die, went where I wanted it to, which is actually the left die. It's going to be a 516 mixer. Click and subscribe to Sideshow Gamble. That's his toss, the mixer. Dice out. 3, 2, 5. Again, we're going for 100 rolls per practice session. Dice out. That one I felt the dice fiddling in my fingers, so I think my grip was too light. It's going to be a 4, 2, 6. So, you know, your toss is everything. Everything goes into your toss. Your stance, your grip, the way you're holding it, the way you're putting it on the table, the way you're throwing it, the way you release it, the energy with which you release it. I'm trying to find the balance of all that. I think that was a better toss. 2, 1, 3. Here we go. Four, 1, 5. Dice out. 3, 1, 4. And it also may look like I'm taking a little bit more time. I'm trying not to get as fatigued so quickly because my shoulder is still sore from the first night. Dice out. So I don't think I had enough energy on that one, but it pushed the way I wanted it to push instead of like toss. 5, 4, 9. Dice out. Hard 10, but not really ideal on the way it was thrown. Dice out. The blue die crept up to it, but it made it 6-2. I think that was a good toss overall. But Ed and Gargoyle are going to be the judge of that. Face out. I think it's interesting that the blue die is kind of digging into the table, and it's getting to the back wall later than the red die. All right, that's the first shooter. Started off with a 12 roller. The idea is to get them both down there at the same time, on or near the landing zone. Dice out. It went off to the right, so that could have been my grip. It's going to be a 5-4-9. That was a 5. Nine will be the point. Dice out. So the 5 didn't quite make it there. The red die, the left die. Gonna be a 5-2-7. PSO. We all PSO. Just because we PSO and throw short rolls doesn't mean that we're poor at tossing in general. Yesterday I think I started practice 1 with a 24 roller. Nice out. That one had better energy. It was just off to the left. And it's going to be a 5-4-9. Place out. They landed probably around here, but obviously they started splitting. 5-3-8. So I found a blue Sharpie. I was able to color a blue die in the pips, but I haven't found a red Sharpie yet. I think we're gonna have to buy one. Once I do, I'll be able to do what Gargoyle asked and color the dice so that you don't see the pips, because it's not important right now. Dice out. Again, they went off to the left. It's going to be a hard 8. So I'm going to change something, not with the toss. I already told you I'm changing over. I'm going to do the parallel to the table for the entire session. But I'm going to go on my toes. And see what that does. I'm able to relax my arm a little bit more on the table. Dice out. So we got a 6-4-10. They went off to the right. Gargoyle, correct me if I'm wrong, or Ed. I think when they go off to the right, it's your grip. I know it's your grip if it splits. I'm not sure if it goes off to the right what that means. So I'm anticipating the critique of this session. That's probably the best throw of this session, even though they didn't land very close to the wall. They landed like right here and they were together for the most part. 6-3-9. part 8. So if they land around the same area, I'm going to surmise that standing on my toes is actually helping me because I can relax my arm more. And I feel it when I push them. I'm able to push them just as if I was bowling like that. Let me show you in the pic. So I can actually feel that I'm able to go like that, like a bowling ball. So we got a 3-1-4. Dice out. That came in with a lot of energy. It's going to be a midnight. Dice out. I think it was a little too much energy, but they landed exactly how I think they want me to have it land. 6-4-10. I definitely think being on my toes is helping me get them down there together better. So that's one thing I'm noticing. So I'm going to continue to be on my toes. Dice out. The blue die went right off my finger to the right. Well, the left one went to the right, but they went off my finger on my ring finger wrong. So we have midnight. I could feel the extra time in the air on my ring finger on that one. I think I put that in. Yeah. There we go. Dice out. Another midnight. Throwing horny today. Back-to-back midnights. So yesterday we had over 11 fours. Dice out. I like that one. It's an ace deuce. Third horn in a row. Dice out. 6-4-10. Dice out. Might have had a little bit more energy than I wanted, but it's going to be a hard 4. Sister number to the 10. Dice out. Now that one, I felt my thumb release, which I haven't really concentrated on that yet, on releasing my thumb. It's going to be a 3-1-4. So that was something that I was thinking about all day, about releasing on my thumb, like so when I had it here, about going like that and seeing what that will do. Because as Gargoyle and Ed pointed out, you know, after I get comfortable with the mechanics of the new toss, to find my own thing about it. So dice out. Now I do notice if I release my thumb too early, they split. 4, 2, 6. Dice out. I like that one. Even though the die went all the way to the right. It's going to be a 4, 2, 6. I'll tell you in a minute. Just a second, how many rolls so far? Dice out. We got a yo! Midmo yo. Chiro's with us. That was roll 32. So we're a quarter of the way there. I'm going to try to get 50 before I have to pause for a brief period, and then I'll be back. Dice out. I could feel that the dice went off of my finger like this. But, you know, once they leave your hands, you know, it's going to be a 6, 4, 10. They landed pretty good against the wall. Oh, I just hit the tall. Well, how about that? Oh no, we hit the tall when we hit the yo. We hit the tall. Nice. Dice out. Now, I think that went down the lane very well, but there was way too much energy on that. It's going to be a 5, 4, 9. I will tell you that what I do love about this toss is hitting repeaters. So if I'm ever playing that crapless table at Harrah's that has repeaters, dice out. Maybe a little too much energy, but it's a mid-mo yo. I think what I'm starting to see, and just slightly, I'm not, you know, I'm no expert, is a little bit more consistency coming off the wall. Dice out. 6, 2, 8. So I noticed on the past few throws I forgot to focus on having it parallel to the table. Dice out. Now they split right away. It's midnight. So remembering Gargoyle, he said if they split, it's your grip. So I might have had my middle finger too far to one side. So I can tell if I lift it up here, you can see that my middle finger is too much on the blue die. So I need to move my middle finger over so it's more evenly split. We all have different fingers and lengths and widths. Dice out. I don't know what happened with that. The red one just dug into the table. And it's going to be a 6-1. Well, it was a 24 roller. Yeah, 24 roller. That was roll 38. So reset on the come out roll. Dice out. I think that had good energy. The blue die did roll around the back wall, which is not what we want. 325 is going to be the point. Dice out. Now that one, I consciously felt my thumb come up too early. 527. So that's a PSO. Now look, I'm not going to complain to anybody if I have long roll PSO, long roll PSO, long roll PSO. I think a lot of people would rather have that than long roll first and never have a long roll again. Dice out. That was a good one. I think it had a little too much energy. 9's going to be the point. And I think we've had 40 rolls. Dice out. Oh, they went off to the left and the blue die hit the chip rack. Hit the chip stack. So it's going to be a mid-mo-yo. So I'll tell you, with this set, the 5-4-5-4, it seems like anytime the dice go completely wonky, it's a horn number. But I could be wrong. All right, let's get a good bowling push, if you will. Dice out. That was too little energy. Neither die made it to the back wall. It's going to be a 6-4-10. Sir, please hit the back wall or we're not going to count your roll. I've heard that before. Dice out. So the blue one I think did what I wanted it to, but the red one did not. And the red one's the left die. 5-3-8. Dice out. I like the way they traveled down the lane, but they hit too high on the. I think they hit the third or fourth tier of diamonds, and that's why they didn't come back together. 6-2-8. That was roll 45. So 5 more rolls, and we'll take another look. We're almost halfway. Dice out. They went all over the place. It's going to be a 4-2-6 though. So let's make sure we got all the mechanics right. We're breathing. We got a grip. We're parallel to the table. Dice out. and they go down the lane the way we want them to. Now they kissed when they hit the wall, but it's going to be a 3-2-5. I will tell you that my arm doesn't hurt as much yet, and I think it's because I'm on my toes, so my arm's more relaxed and not stretched out as much. Dice out. Oh, I like that one a lot. They didn't come back and meet again, but boy, they went down the lane really nice. 5-5. Hard 10. Dice out. They went off to the left, but they wound up right next to each other. 6-2-8. I'm really starting to really like this toss. Probably because of the repeaters. Dice out. You can tell right when it leaves your hand. They went off to the right. But they kept together. 5-3-8. I didn't like the way they left my hand. Dice out. Oh, that was nice. 6-4-10. Can you imagine if you could do that every roll? Have them hit the diamond and meet right there. Dice out. 5-3-8. Not a great throw. But we might have just hit the repeater on the 8. No? I thought we did. Dice out. Now I looked at my landing spot, but I think they went over here. It's going to be a mid-mo yo. 6-5. We'll put an imaginary field bet and a horn high midnight for $5. Just imaginary because I have no chips and I'm not betting. Dice out. And we 7'd out. But they stayed together. That was nice. That was nice. 6-1. That was another 14 roller. And if we look at the chart, so I'm going to wait for this 14 roller to generate in the tracker. So we've had 12, 2, 26, 14. So as far as like having longer rolls, 3 out of 4 shooters has been a double-digit roll. And one of them will win you a hat at Fremont. Here we go, come out. Six, 2, 8. I liked how they were just an inch from the wall, even though they weren't near each other. And we're already on 55 rolls. Dice out. And they split right when they got out of my hand. But it's going to be a buckshot, 6, 2, 8. But I felt it anytime I feel it on my ring finger, I know that it's not a great toss. Even though it was a good result, it was not a great toss mechanically. Dice out. 5, 2, 7 out. I kind of felt it didn't have enough energy. Another short roll after a long roll. Wasn't a PSO, but might as well have been. Oh, that's a come out roll. Oh shit. That was a come out 7. It just resets the ATS. Oh well. Alright, we'll take it. Dice out. A little too much energy on that one. And please, Ed, Gargoyle, please comment if any of my feedback comments on my own tosses are complete shite and I'm just blowing smoke, or if what I'm recognizing is valid. I'd like to know that, please. Dice out. They didn't stay together on the way down. It's going to be a 6-5 mid-mo-yo. 9 is the point. Dice out. Now that one I think I forced because I was trying to get my arm, here I'll show it back here. I was trying to get my arm like that, and I don't think I should do that because when I did that, it made my hand go off to the left. And that's going to be a 4-3-7 out. All right. Next shooter. We are at, that was the 60th roll. We have 40 rolls to go. Dice out. I didn't like the way they left my hand. The J-Mac hard 9. Oops. Put in the right dice roll, huh? 9's going to be the point. Dice out. They split, but then they came back together before they hit the wall, but I do like the way they hit off the wall. 5, 4, 9. Out. Oh, I liked how they stayed together, even though the blue die went ahead of the red die. So that's something. That's a question I do have. Let me go back to the camera for a sec. We got a midnight. So a question for you, Ed and Gargoyle. What does it mean when one die goes forward and the other one's following it? Is that a grip thing? Is that the way it pushed off or the way it left my fingers? That's something I want to know. Dice out. 3, 4, 7. Is that our first back-to-back crappy rolls? And it is. Neither roll was over 6 rolls. Our SRR right now, let's wait till this 7 comes in because that's going to drop our SRR. So our SRR right now is 6.4. Not great. I think 6 is average. Is that correct? Dice out. They went all the way, they hit early and they went all the way to the right. It's going to be a hard 10. 10's going to be the point. And I'm probably going to keep these videos going, but I'm not going to do a live with Crapsy for any of these because the point is for me to concentrate on the throw, not fulfill Crapsy. Dice out. So we got a hard 9, 5-4. Again, they went off to the right. So again, I don't know if it's a grip problem or, you know, the dice maybe weren't parallel to the table. Dice out. I like the way those dribbled up the alley, but it's going to be a 5-2-7. Again, we're, you know, this is the rolls are for the community. If you want to roll out on your own table, we're not concerned. Gargoyle, Ed, Jeff, and I, we're not concerned about the results of the dice right now. Just, you know, what I liked about that roll was they stayed together for the most part. Dice out. So that one, the blue die hit early and went off to the right. So that might be a grip problem. I don't know. So they're also not going down the lane far enough before they land. Dice out. Those landed right around here. It's going to be a 5-1-6. The casino will count it, but I want the ones that go right down the lane, right into the wall. 3-1-4. So the arm fatigue is starting to set in. Well, I like that one a lot. That was the right amount of energy. They stayed within the lane. And then when they came off the wall, they were right here. I like that one. Let's repeat that, shall we? Can we repeat that? I guess that's the trick, right? Dice out. Oh, that was a pretty throw. They probably landed right around here, bounced off, and stopped right here. That was awesome. That was also a point made. I want to repeat that, please. Dice out. That had not enough energy. But it's going to be a hard 8, and it's going to count. 8's going to be the point. But that definitely did not have enough energy. I'm starting to feel where the energy is supposed to go. Now that one came in hot, but for some reason it didn't get down the lane the way I wanted it to. It's going to be a PSO on the 8. But it was a 7 roller. So the last 3 shooters were 6, 7, 7. So let's see if we can get another qualified roll. Dice out. I'll tell you why I like that one. I felt the dice, and I'm going to show you in the camera. It's going to be a 4-2-6. I'm going to show you in the camera though, the reason why I like that one. It happened earlier, but not the same result in the video. So when they left my hands, okay, instead of going up, I felt them go this way. So they went this way. And I kind of like that. Let's try it again. So the blue die went off to the left, so that didn't really, not exactly what I wanted. It's going to be a 426. It's like I'm starting to feel I know what I want, and now I just have to go obtain it. Here we go. A little too much energy, but the red die landed where I liked it. 314. 314. Dice out. Heart 8. Didn't hit the landing zone. We'll check the number of rolls in just a minute. Dice out. They came in hot, I'll tell you that. That's probably why they split off the wall. It's very hard to, with mechanics, to, and that's why we're learning, or while I'm learning, is mechanically I'm all over the place with accuracy, power, energy. I'm trying to find the happy medium. I like that throw. It was a little aggressive, but 516. You have to realize in a casino setting, this would be like 3 minutes apart, 2 minutes apart, maybe. I like the way they stayed together all the way down, but they drifted to the right. So that was probably a grip problem, or the way that they left my hand. And that's the thing, you're trying to concentrate on so many different parameters of a throw, which is why when people get into a flow or a rhythm or a zone, they're not thinking about it. It just happens. So that's a 527. Another 8 roller. So 6, 7, 7, 8. Right? Let that 7 go in. Come on. There it is. So the last 4 shooters, 6, 7, 7, 8. We raised our SRR from 6.4 to 6.8. Let's see if we can continue to raise that. Dice out. Oh, I liked how that dribbled forward. The blue die didn't carry very much, but I actually like the energy on that one. 426. 6 will be the point. I like that one. I really felt the push instead of a toss, if you will. When I think of toss, I think an upward angle. So this has to be a push that goes like 2 inches off the layout. So I felt on that one, it was much more of a push. I like that one. It's a 437, but it is what it is. You know? because right now we're learning mechanics, so, you know, I haven't found the dice set yet because that's not the point right now. The point right now is to get them to stay together, go down, hit the wall together, come back and stop. Midnight. Still on the come out. We'll check the number of rolls. Six five yo, Chiro, Midmo yo. Still to come out. Too much energy, but it's come out 7. So it ruined getting the some of the hardest hardest numbers on the ATS. Just wiped them out real quick like that. But if you're playing a world bet, you're not doing too bad. They split. I didn't like that at all. 426. 6 will be the point. Well, that was pretty. 6-5 yo. They went off to the left. It's gonna be an ace deuce. Lots of horns. It wasn't that bad. I didn't like the split. 325. Well, I like that one a lot, but it went off to the right. I just like the way they stay together for the most part. Is that back-to-back ace deuces? Or no, that was a 5 before that. So we only hit 2 box numbers on this shooter. And one of them was the point. Three, 1, 4. That was roll number 9. A little aggressive. I did like the way they went downtown. Hard 10. Five, 2, 7 out. Well, that was an 11 roller. Let's see what that does for our SRR. So we're sitting at 6.4 SRR. Not great, but I think 6 is average. So we're just above average. I like that. 549. And that was roll 97. So this is the last shooter. They roll over the place on that one. It's going to be a 549 buckshot. That's funny. $639. Red die went all over the place. So that's 3 9s in a row. I'll take repeaters all day long. As you heard Ed say in, was it episode 2 of Unraveling Mysteries? He'll take repeaters all day. That's where you make your money in the boxes. 617. Oh my God, that is the second night we ended with the 100th roll being a 7. How odd is that? Wow. All right, so we're going to end the night with 100 rolls, an SRR of 6.3. We had 5 come-out 7s and only 1 qualified shooter in the last 6 shooters. So not awesome sauce, but you know, hey, we're working on mechanics. So again, you can use these rolls to roll out. I might even do a short intro video because I'm saying this now after we've rolled 100 rolls. But thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. This is OldBayCraps. This was the OBC DI practice session number 2, week 1. Thank you for joining me. And when you're at your tables, season your play. Good night.